All right, everybody. Thank you for coming out for this webinar today. It's being presented by EasySoft and InfoTrack, and it's making tax season easier for real estate lawyers. My name is Eric Bruce. I am the marketing manager at InfoTrack, and I'm being joined by my colleague, Beth Connell, who is our client success manager. So just a quick overview of what we're going to go over. Mainly, we're going to be focusing on how you can seamlessly file your 1099-S forms through InfoTrack, which integrates directly into EasySoft. What this should do is help you eliminate your year-end tax season frustration, and it'll also save you crucial time, as you'll see via the demo that Beck is going to give you. So, EasySoft is a CRM that specializes in helping real estate attorneys and title agents simplify their closings. Their closing software offers revolutionary document automation that streamlines the closing process and eliminates risks and repetitive tasks. And at InfoTrack, we are a subscription-free legal workflow platform that provide numerous benefits to commercial and residential real estate attorneys. Right now, what you're looking at is EasySoft's EasyCDF, which stands for Easy Closing Disclosure Forms. The main closing disclosure page is laid into 5 tabs, just like the regular closing disclosure. In the past, 3-page HUD form forced you to squeeze a lot of information into a small amount of space. The new 5-page CDF does not have that limitation, making it easier to fill out despite its added length. So let's take a look right now. Here's the first tab where you just put your contact information and your loan terms. Moving on to the second page, what you're going to see is a series of different fees, services, borrows and not shopped for, taxes, etc. You put these in as your loan costs. They're laid out in an easy to understand format that we can arrange using an Excel-like spreadsheet. Moving on to page 3, what you're going to see is cash to close calculations laid out by the CFPB. At the top, what it calculates is cash to close, and then at the bottom is cash to or from the borrower. Ideally, these numbers should match, and if anyone is familiar with the HUD, this is what the first page looks like, and you would notice fairly easy to work through. Moving on to pages 4 and 5. What we have here are text box, and you basically would just check off what you need here, like assumptions, demand features. It's the last step before bringing this to the actual bargaining table. Now, once everything is done on this closing, all the paper has been signed, the buyer and seller have shaken hands, and everything's done. It's time to go back to your office and send out your 1099s. And I'll now be turning this over to my colleague, Beth Connell.
Thank you, Eric. So I'm going to take you through how you can actually file those 1099-S forms with EasySoft. So what you would do is once you're ready to go to closing, you would come down to the 1099-S tab here. At the top here where you've got the transaction information, you'll notice that a lot of that has pre-populated from the closing disclosure for you, so you're not having to retype that data in. And what you can actually do is come in and select to print off the substitute form. So you can actually take that out to the closing with you to have it signed. So if I click on that one, so you can come in, print it off. Otherwise, if you're not actually physically attending the closing or it's already passed, anything like that, you can come up here and actually just email it off to be signed as well. But once the closing's all done, it's all settled, you can come back in and actually file that 1099-S form. So all that's left to do is just put in the seller's name, their tax ID, and also provide a forwarding address. So the reason we collect this forwarding address is we actually will handle mailing out a physical copy of that 1099-S form to the seller at the end of the tax year for you. So just eliminating that administrative task. But once all these details have been filled in, all you have to do then is come up to this Submit 1099-S button, and this box will appear. So if you're yet to actually create an account with InfoTrack to do your 1099-S filing, once that's done, we will send out that password for you. So you would just type it in here. If you tick off Remember Me, that way you don't have to type it in every time and it's going to save in there for you. And then lastly, you would just tick off that you have your signed substitute form and click Submit. From there, it'll give you a copy of the form so you can save that for your own records. If I close out of it, you'll notice now that this screen has actually grayed out. So that means that that one has been filed. But in the instance where you may have made a mistake, maybe you put the wrong tax ID in, the wrong gross allocation, whatever it is, you can actually now come back and click Undo Submit. So what you would do is just undo that submission, make your correction, and then you would just again submit it. There's no extra cost. It'll actually refund it and then recharge it once you resubmit the form. From there, if you're filing for a married couple, it's only one form that you have to file. You would just simply put in the spouse's name in name 2, and you'll only need a seller's tax ID for whoever you've put into name 1. If you're filing the 1099-S form for a property where there's more than one seller, you can simply add in additional sellers from this button here. So you can add as many as you need. You'd fill in their details. Down the bottom here, you can either type in the gross allocation that they will be receiving. Otherwise, if it's a simple 50-50 split, you can always just put in the percentage there. So I'll just go back to seller 1 and change that. So once that's all set, you can easily come in again, click submit. In this case, I do want to point out that once you've submitted for seller 1, you will have to come back and also submit for seller 2. So it is 2 separate filings. But that concludes the 1099-S part of this webinar. I'm just going to move on now and talk about how InfoTrack actually integrates further with EasySoft and quickly show you how it works. So to start off with, just to give you a bit of a background, InfoTrack is a web-based platform that allows you to access many different types of searches and services, both locally and internationally, without subscription costs, and it's charged in a way that you can pass it on to your client as a disbursement. InfoTrack's goal is to save you, the user, time by giving you access to all the key services you use on a regular basis from the one location, eliminating the need to go to various different websites and have a number of different logins for each. We also aim to keep all screens user-friendly with the same look and feel, so you're not having to learn your way around a number of different websites. And lastly, we try to keep costs down for you by offering you our services on a pay-per-transaction basis and free of subscriptions. So to access InfoTrack's additional services, if you're using the CDF version of EasySoft or the cloud version, with the latest update, you've got this InfoTrack button. You would simply just go in and click New Order, and it brings you to InfoTrack. And up the top here are what we call quick links, which is quick access to the services we currently have available. So we have a feature called Sign It, where you can add electronic signature fields to any document and email it off to be electronically signed. We have a business formation service, so you can create LLCs, incorporations, series LLCs in all 50 states. You can also order a corporate kit for it right from the same page. You can create the tax ID, and we also offer registered agent services as well. Moving along, we have access to all 50 states' Secretary of State websites, so you can do your company report orders, search UCCs, and you can also file your UCC1 documents through here as well. And then lastly, we have a title service. So I'll just quickly touch on that one today. So through our title service, we offer a number of different reports. It's starting from a very basic one where it's just your deeds on a property all the way through to the chain of title. So you'd come in and just put in the name of the party and select the party type. The address is actually pulled across from the closing disclosure as well, and you'll just tick off what county it's in. You can add in the additional fields, but it's not required. And then moving down to the bottom, these are the 4 different reports we offer. So as I said, very basic. First one is just your simple deeds on a property. Moving along, you can include the tax information and any voluntary liens. Continuing on, it includes involuntary liens and then all the way through to the chain of title. So you would simply just pick off which report you wish to order. You'll notice that the fee is displayed on the screen for you as well, which is the same with all of InfoTrack's services, and you would just click submit. The turnaround time on these can vary depending on the state and the county and also what report you're ordering, but usually the basic ones are back within 1 to 2 days and the more comprehensive 3 to 5. And once they are complete, you'll get an email to let you know with the report attached. Also, just jumping back to EasySoft, it's going to save down into this integrated documents tab as well, so you can reopen it from there. And as I mentioned before, InfoTrack's all our fees are just per transaction. There's no subscription, and you can actually pass them on to your client. So if you come to the fee summary, you can open that up, see how much you've spent for them, and easily invoice them. But that concludes my part of the webinar today. I'll pass it back to Eric, and if you've got any questions, please send them through.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. And as you know, this is Beck, who's our client success manager. So we will be sending out a copy of the webinar in the coming days with her contact information on it.